What's up, guys? It is Wednesday morning. We're in Copenhagen, chilling. It's our last day here. It's a little nicer out today, so hopefully we're gonna get to have some fun. I think I'm headed to a walking tour right now. I might go to like the street food area for lunch, and then I don't know, see what happens at night. I'm excited. Get some stuff done today. Hang out around the town. One thing that's like crazy here is every taxi is a Mercedes. Like every taxi is like a brand new Mercedes, whether it's white, black, or yellow. It's ridiculous. I'm standing now, but I'll show you guys later. It's out of control. Those are so nice.
It's sick, and that's because everything in Copenhagen has this marvelous habit of catching on fire and burning to the ground. So all the previous city halls have burnt down. You're going to hear more about that later on. So this one was constructed between 1892 and 1904. And has anyone been to Siena? Yeah. A couple of you? You may recognize it. It looks a little bit similar. The Danish architect took a little bit of influence from Siena City Hall. But we have two things that they don't have, which make ours far superior. So if you've been inside the City Hall, some of you may have seen already, there's Jens Olsen's world-famous world clock. And that means it counts the movements of the planets and the stars, rather than the movement of time. It's a very ornate piece. And the best thing about this clock, it supposedly has a clock in it that moves only once every 25,753 years. So I don't know who keeps track of when it last moved, but you know, come back 200 years back. And he made something I think they call Disneyland? Anyone ever heard of that? No, so obviously not very successful. Walt Disney came here and he saw Tivoli, he fell in love, and he's quoted to have said he wanted to capture the spirit of Tivoli and take it to America. So once you've been there, you've been to the original Disneyland. Why wouldn't you want to do that? It means New Square. Just over there is Gaveltor. What do you think that might mean?
Old Square.
Exactly. So Danes are very inventive with their naming of things. Something they get from the Vikings, because of course, what do they call the land they found in Canada? Newfoundland. So it's been going on quite a while. Very exciting names of things in the city. So this is your medieval heart of Copenhagen. Try and imagine it, the sights, the smells. There's marketplaces everywhere. There's a load of sewage, a load of animals, very noisy, very smelly. And this is where you have your public entertainment. Now before we have the Kardashians, what's the best form of entertainment we can find?
Execution.
Good guess over here, but it is actually executions. So this is where you have your public humiliation, your public executions. So we had our gallows here, we had our whipping posts, we had our stocks. If you were having a bad day at work, you'd come down to Newtorv in the evening, see someone who was having a much worse day than you. And the last thing you want to say, you've got your beer, you've said thank you, you want to say cheers. Now you have to pretend you're a Viking, you've got a skull in your hand, and you say skål. So that's cheers in Danish. You know, you've got important words you can go about in the city. So have we got a married couple here today? A couple of you? Dabisha. So you guys are gift. That's the word for marriage in Danish. How sweet. Marriage is a gift. Oh. But it also means poison in Danish. So let's carry on. So welcome to Christiansborg. This is the first palace you're going to see today. This has a very long, very confusing story. I will promise to make it as concise as I can. So stay with me here. We start in 1167 and an ugly little castle is here on this plot of land. Very tiny, very square. Picture it now. And we're starting the story with Absalon, Bishop Absalon. I mentioned him back at City Hall. He's the founding father of Copenhagen, a warrior bishop. So why is he here in the city? And this is a blessed building, ladies and gentlemen. Not just because it's a church, but it survived all the major fires. So it survived the first Great Fire of Copenhagen, hooray! It survived the second Great Fire of Copenhagen, amazing! And it survived both the fires that burnt down Christiansborg. Good luck, well done, you've got away with minimal damage. But we get to the year 1992. What happens then? Fire. Not a general fire, but we have the Copenhagen Carnival in this area. Everybody's very drunk, imagine them all lying in the streets here, very drunk, very happy, setting off fireworks like there's no tomorrow. Unfortunately for that chapel, there was no tomorrow. A firework gets stuck right up on the roof, burns the entire thing to the ground. Oh. So it survives 4 major fires. It gets burnt down by drunk Danish people. And I'm not even exaggerating. Up there in the middle tale. So in the 1860s, a pair of Danish brothers bought it in an attempt to make their own department store, because they were a little bit sick of all the French businessmen here who had all the businesses, all the department stores, were making a lot of money. So they wanted their own Danish version, but they made sure to give it a fancy French name so they'd still have some customers. We're all gathered. Excellent. So, just here, keep your eye on the guards. They will do something momentarily. We've just missed the changing of the guard ceremony. This is the tail end of it, but that's why they're standing over there, so keep your eyes there. And this is a Malienborg. Hopefully you remember, this is where the royal family moved as a temporary solution in about 1884. Now this area was built by Frederick III as a place for all his aristocratic, rich friends to live. So these were just owned by noble families originally. Then this area got torn down by Frederick V, because each king obviously wants to make his versions better, tears everything that was made before down, and then it was built in the Rococo style. So these buildings, Rococo, the period that came after, is the empty palace. It's what I call the party palace. Nobody lives there permanently, but that is where you're going to have all your big parties as the royal family. That's where all the foreign secretaries, prime ministers, presidents, so on, anyone important is going to stay there. Coming round over here, we have the multi-purpose palace. So this is where the Royal Museum is located. A little bit pricey for not much content, but if you're interested in royal history, take a look in there. Also a toilet that you can use, interesting fact. And that's where Joachim's apartment is for him and his family, and it's where the two apartments of the Queen's sisters are. So that's a real multi-purpose palace. Coming behind you here, we have Frederick's Palace. This is where the Crown Prince of Denmark lives with his Australian-born wife, Mary. They met at the Sydney Olympics. The best thing about that story is that nobody outside Denmark knows what the Crown Prince of Denmark looks like. So Frederick went to Australia, was able to hang out like a normal Danish guy, went to the pub, meets a lovely girl, they hit it off, and they start dating. And then he realises, shit, I didn't tell her I'm the Crown Prince of Denmark and I'm going to be king one day. That might be a little bit of a problem in the relationship. So he ends up saying, Mary, look, I've got to go back to Denmark, you know, I'm kind of going to be king. And she took it very well, as I'm sure most of us ladies would if we realised we might be queen one day. So eventually she moved to Denmark, they were married in 2004, then they moved into the palace together, because of course, nobody lives together before they're married in this day and age, that would be horrible. So they had to wait till they're married before they could officially live together. So they lived there with their 4 children, and that leaves us with this palace. So of course, who must live here? The Queen and her husband. And you can tell that she lives there not only because I told you, but because she has an extra chimney. And I have told you that she is a notorious chain smoker. Everyone else has either 3 or 4 chimneys. So that's how you know the Queen lives there. Now, someone could have already asked me about the flags here today. These flags actually indicate that people are home today. So if they are not residents of the palace, there will be no flag. So that means you actually have a full set. All of the royal family are here, and we also have someone visiting in the party palace. So this is the best day you could possibly come to Denmark. Keep your eyes on the windows, keep looking around, you might see someone famous.
Guys, we just finished our walking tour at the royal palaces behind me, which I'm sure you guys will see in the video. It was really cool. Copenhagen's like actually a lot more pretty than I thought it was, and so we're gonna walk along a little bit, like walk around the river, get some lunch, hang out, and okay guys, we just walked so freaking far. I don't even know. We just walked halfway across the city, crossed the river, walked back in the same direction to go get Copenhagen street food, because that's all I've heard about. And I just want to sit down, get lunch, and have a beer. I'm so tired. It's 1,000,000 degrees. It's beautiful, but I just need to chill. Yo, we just had some baller Copenhagen street food for lunch. The beer cost more than the food, but it was totally worth it. We are headed back to the hostel now to kick it for like, I don't know, a little bit because I'm tired as hell and walking all day. So we're gonna head back, chill, get some dinner, and then see what's up. Yeah, okay, so we're back at like Parliament buildings, and I forgot to tell you guys this morning, while I was on the walking tour, I was like over there, right? You see all those people? Yeah, whatever, they're on a walking tour now. And so that's where I was earlier this morning, and I was taking a picture of Parliament, or the Parliament, whatever, buildings, which is behind me, and there was like, I guess the gardeners or whatever, watering these trees and the grounds, and I was totally not paying attention, walked over like a couple feet away from the group, and got soaked with this like giant fire hose type thing. Like it was huge, and I got drenched. I had to like walk away from the group for 5 minutes and like unpack my backpack and dry everything down. I had my laptop on me. It was a little embarrassing, but then since it's a million fucking degrees out, it felt good. Yeah, stories. Okay, what up guys? We're here with my boy Nectar, chilling at Tivoli Gardens for the night. I don't know, gonna hang out, gonna go on some rides, gonna party hard, you know. He's pretty dope. He's got fam over here chilling, you know. So we're gonna kick it with the crew tonight, you know, squad up. It's pretty lit, it's pretty lit. I'll see you guys around. Those of you that know me know that this is like fucking fantasy world for me. This is awesome. All about battery's gonna die soon, but I'm happy